I think this right here is a good profile picture for all the big Sanji fans. Chapter 1129. Live dolls. Or live dolls. Live dolls? I don't know. It's probably live dolls, right? Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage Volume 16. Ninja Training at Amigasa Village. So are they just not concerned with, like, the disappearances? What's going on with the disappearances? And also, yeah, she's back to her old form. Which I guess is interesting. I still don't know what's going on with the disappearances of Wano. It doesn't seem like it's particularly concerning, I guess. People are just kind of chilling. Anyway. Alright, what's going on? Master Sun God, please quell your anger. Look over there. Flames through the cracks in the sky. The kingdom is doomed. The world is ending. Does Loki sound like Ragnarok? I'm not gonna lie. I wonder if that's intentional. Because I do think, like, the cloud, like the sky is burning. It does seem like reminiscent of Ragnarok. How do you pronounce this word? It's live dolls, right? Or live dolls. Live dolls? I think it's live dolls. You live dolls will pay for what you did to my my temple. I assume he meant room. And to my pets. I mean to my servants. Okay, so this is a giant who's just made a weird, messed up test room with his pets. Okay, got it. Got it. Why is that guy so freaky? God, he looks more like a demon. True and real. The town, look out for the slope. So this is all made of blocks, right? Or rather, jump catch. Lord is catch. Hey, if he put in all the work to build this, we gotta split without busting it up. Why is that so weird? If we gotta split without busting it up. Sounds weird somehow. What did I just say, cat? I think leave the poor cat alone. He's running for his life. What do you mean? Oh my god, I keep forgetting it. Am I the only one who still constantly forgets about like the scale of things? I just went to the next page and I saw, like, the sun god, and, like, he's massive, and then the buildings are small, but the cat is also big, and Luffy is small. It keeps confusing me. Why are you helping them? Hitching a ride on this cat took us to the end of the world in no time. Huh? No, it keeps going and going. I told you, Luffy, just look at the schematics for this count. Don't worry, I've memorized it. Look over there, Luffy. You can see the mirror door from earlier. Oh, you're right. And on a second look, the clouds are just cotton fluff hanging from the ceiling. It might look huge to us, but to a giant, it's just a regular old room. Exactly. And because all the walls are mirrors, no wonder the scenery seems to go on forever. So we'll reach the end in no time. We just have to keep going straight. Okay, so... Okay, yeah. So, Nami last time did actually get straight up, like, schematics of the room and not a map. That is, like, 100% confirmed. World tree. I still, by the way, think that all of this is like a pseudo simulation. I just don't know who this sun god dude is. We're already halfway across this so-called kingdom. I see. So you have seen the schematics, and now imagine you have figured out this world, have you? Yet, this was originally a holding cell for giants. Annette? Is it just me, or is he talking a bit like a samurai? I don't remember any samurai giants. I don't. This is... Have we met someone like that? This is now making me think that it's a character we've seen. But I don't think we've seen any samurai giants. It was built to prevent giants from escaping. It matters not if you will reach the wall. For you will never break through. There is only a dead end. Come on, cat. You're supposed to dodge that. What happened to Lord Iskatch? Who's that riding on him? I mean, yeah, they just cut it. That's not surprising. Unless it was like a sea prism thing, which is clearly not. That's not surprising. So we're just running. Oh, it was a metal thing? Well, anyway. It doesn't matter anyway. No matter the cruel and violent ear god awaits them ahead. Almighty sun god. We have some bad news about the ear gods. It was mysteriously burned to death early. Oh. It's kind of messed up. The sight was heartbreaking and more than a little ominous. just before bizarre cracks appeared in the sky. It is an accursed day. Impossible. That was a vicious carnivorous rabbit. My glut bunny. We just found it like that. Lovely, wonderful. This too is how the world works. A story without a script unfolding in my wild little garden. Do you see what I mean? I think this is just a guy living somewhere around Elbaf, and what he's doing is trying to simulate the world. I don't think this is Loki, by the way. I don't know if I don't remember what we talked about last time with this guy potentially being Loki. I don't think this is supposed to be Loki at all. I think Loki is still like on the outskirts of this. I think Loki is controlling even him hypothetically. That's where I'm at right now. I think he is he is playing this yeah, exactly, like he's doing like an RPG thing with his own stuff, and I think above him is still like, you know, the actual game master. I think he is just a character. I underestimated them. They are most exciting after all. Now the world I created has developed its own evil and its own heroes. My theory that I mentioned last week was that Loki put the Strawhats here just to mess with this guy. That would be very cool. That would be very, very interesting. That it's not even like Loki creating a story for himself, but he's creating a story for someone else so that he can just look in. Yeah, that seems interesting. History is being written before my eyes. This is the charm of my little live dolls. The mini world that belongs only to me. Kind of messed up. This might be our only chance. The way out is open to us. Let's flee while we can. Tell all the others. What's he laughing about? Now dance and struggle in my palm. Hyrule. Hyrule may accept you, but I do not. So what is your move? This is someone we know. I don't know who it is, but this is someone we know. Or should at least know. Because the whole thing in Dressrosa was that, like, Hyrule joining Luffy, that was a big deal. Special attack Green Star, Skull Blast Grass. Incredible. No good, it only broke the mirror. That wall is really tough. Okay, I got this one. Good, yes, this pleases me. Helpless dolls fighting back against fate. Best story ever. We talked about Sabody earlier. Could you imagine, like, Sabody, but with this narration? Helpless dolls fighting back against fate. Best story ever. Part of the world is despair and hopelessness. And part of history is defeat and disappointment. I think you're about to be cooked, bro. I think your like whole ambition of being a DM, I think you don't realize that, like, you've unfortunately forgot to fix a bug. And the bug is called Luffy. And he has a Gear 5 exploit, unfortunately. I think you're gonna be cooked. The tragic folly of the week, and yet so brave, a real tearjerker. I am so glad to have you in my collection. Ultra rare Luffy, ultra rare Zoro, ultra rare. This guy is a clown. This guy's an actual clown. Wait, does he know who we are? Ultra rare Sanji, ultra rare Chopper. What does he mean, ultra rare? Time to bust a hole open. Mini Gear 4? Okay. He's collecting special action figurines. I wonder if there is actually, like, more to it than just, like, cause, obviously I think the implication is just that, like, for him, collecting people and putting them in this test field, it's just, like, people are collection figures, right? Where it's just, like, a person in and of itself. But I think there might be something more, like, why he thinks that way. It could be very easily that, like, he just thinks of everyone in the same way. That it's just, like, people are small, people are weak, people are tiny, so every single person is just an action figure, right? It could easily be that. But there might also be some kind of, like, underlying devil fruit shenanigans happening. Maybe. Maybe. Because if you think about, like, Loki's whole shape-shifting thing in Norse, it could be something to do with that. Like, again, I don't want to... I saw someone leave a very good comment about this, like, on the last chapter. I do think, with a lot of the stuff, ever since, like, all the mistakes in the chapter, I do think a lot of us are overanalyzing, and a lot of us are putting Loki into places where Loki has never been mentioned, you know? But I do think that this whole, like, ultra rare thing, it could just be him thinking of people that way, but I do think there might be some credence there to some kind of theory about potentially turning people into figurines. Because I don't think we really had that per se. Like, we had the wax statues, which I guess is kind of that, but not really. I wonder if there's ever been cases of giants being turned to small people and then being used as figurines. Luffy using Gear 4 in base form is cool. I do think it's really fun, yeah. Like, mini Gear 4, that's neat. That's a cool little move. So what is it just like is it just that he does a big fist that is hardened with hockey and that's like all of Gear 4? I think it is. That's cool. Hey Usopp, natural disasters aren't anyone's fault, right? I mean, sure, earthquakes, floods, lightning, you can't blame those on anyone. Well, I think we've been through plenty of enough terror for one day. I'm sick of this guy. I get it, but we don't want to anger the giants. I know how I feel, Nami. I feel the same rage toward this jerk. I just can't get the thought out of my mind of him changing your clothes. Before I finished it, I was like, why is he so ugly? Now I understand why he's so ugly. This might be the most cursed. There we go. I think this right here is a good profile picture for all the big Sanji fans. I think so. I think this should be the thing that everyone uses moving forward. So bad. Okay. I won't rest until I crush him to bits with my foot. You mustn't do that, Sanji. I wouldn't worry though. He'll get his divine retribution. Mugen, what have you brought me this time? Wait, this is the Straw Hat crew. Call? The giant pirates were sailing out to escort them back. Wait, hold up. Oh, this is lore. Wait, hold up. Okay. What have you brought me this time? This is the Straw Hat crew. The giant pirates were sailing out to escort them back. Don't they realize what happened? They seem very deep asleep. Did they pass through the sleeping mists en route to Egghead? Oh, okay. That explains it. So there's a weird sleeping mist around the island. So the Absinthe really was just a red herring? That's kind of weird. That's very weird. Green herring? Yeah, that is very, very odd. The fact that Oda introduced it and like right in... this might be like a 1 in 1 billion chance where like Oda introduces this thing that is supposed to cause hallucinations, and the next chapter just so happens to have mistakes, and so many mistakes that the entire community is convinced that it's purposeful. This might be like a 1 in 1 billion things that went wrong, like a series of unfortunate events. But this seems very weird to me. Like, and it seems so weird to me that I still want to put on my tinfoil hat and say that something is afoot. I've seen this guy, right? I'm supposed to know this guy. I recognize the scarf. I am 90% sure I have seen this guy. I just don't know where. Manga chapter cover? I feel like I've seen him even in the anime. Because I distinctly remember that I had this whole thing where I noticed that, I don't even remember why I was thinking about that. Because, what's his face? Katakuri has the weird scarf around him, right? And there was another character like that. And the design itself is quite like, you don't really see many other characters like that. And I was thinking that maybe there's something there. I don't remember why I was thinking that, because there's obviously nothing there. I think it's just a design with a cool looking scarf. I now call it the Berserk scarf, because of course I do. But, I don't know. Apparently it was animated too? I feel like I've seen him. I feel like I'm supposed to know him. Part of the new giant pirates? Okay, let me look that up, because I do genuinely feel like this is like a reveal that I should be recognizing, but I kind of not. I'm kind of not. There he is! Yes! Yes, there he is! I thought so! I have seen him. Okay. Okay, let's finish the chapter. Are you insane? Not at all. When I heard that Hyrule had cast aside his dignity and became a henchman, I was furious. Does that make me a member of the new giant pirates, a henchman too? An almighty warrior of Elbaf, subservient to some tiny human? He has no pride. Or rather, has he no pride? Just look at this tiny, frail figure. But Nami here... just another creep, of course he is. Oops. I need you to go back to sleep, and when you wake up again... you'll simply go missing to the rest of the world. Instead, you'll be stuck in here with me, struggling to get free. I will not serve you. You will serve me. Okay, so he is. So for him, this is not like I don't think there's any lore behind this. I do think he just thinks of people like that. I think he just thinks the giants are superior, and he just, like, acts as if people are little figurines. And I suspect that all these different people are people he's just yoinked and put in here, and I suspect that he's doing this in secret. And this whole sun god thing, I suspect that he... Okay, all of this is coming together. The reason why he's playing sun god is because the religion of Elbaf, I suspect, also is all about the sun god, right? We already saw that. I do wonder how this plays into the fact that Kuma's Bible had the sun god, right? So what he's doing right now is he's cosplaying his image of Joy Boy and Nika and Luffy. And this is his little fantasy land that he's built for himself. Okay. I do wonder if Luffy going into Gear 5... No, but he already went into Gear 5. I'm pretty sure he popped Gear 5 already. I'm pretty sure at the end of the previous chapter, he went into Gear 5. He did? Okay, I thought so. And he saw Gear 5 and didn't think anything about it? Yeah, there it is. So Luffy was in Gear 5. And he didn't think anything about it? That's odd. Because I was gonna ask, is he going to have his little fantasy shattered by the fact that he actually sees the sun god? He's in denial? Maybe. You know what would be very interesting? Now I'm coming up with headcanons, but bear with me here. What would be very interesting is if this was Oda's way of giving us more lore about the religion around the sun god itself, right? And perhaps if in that sun god thing, there is also something to do with the moon. Because without us even really realizing it, through this guy cosplaying the sun god, we would be getting the same lore we should be getting with Luffy. That would be very interesting. That would be very, very interesting. Okay, let's see what he's cooking up next. Are you ready, Zeus? What is that? I am positively crackling, Nami. I never made that. Take it away. A lightning blast. So bro is cooked. Oh, what? The sun god. He's cooked. I think it's over. I hate to leave, but we gotta go. So long, Kingdom of Blocks. Gum Gum. Outside at last. Take that giant perv. Takes one to know one, I guess. Please let it be Elbaf outside. Shrimp. Meow. Kongun. Also, Luffy didn't even break the mirrors. I think he just broke the whole thing. We're outside. And of course, Oda's not gonna show us the outside. Well, that's rude. Okay. Yeah, this is, Usopp already broke the mirror? I guess he did, yeah. So Luffy just literally broke through the wall. That makes sense. That does make sense, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Usopp blasted the thing, and then there's, like, the cracks in the wall. Yeah, so Luffy just broke that. Okay, so I think, the next chapter... Is there a break next week? Number one. Because I suspect that this next chapter will be very, very big in terms of giving us our first, like, bird's eye view of Elbaf. That's what I'm expecting. I think we're gonna break through, and we're going to actually see Elbaf next chapter. No break. Yes. I think next chapter we're getting to see Elbaf. I think we're gonna fly through the wall, and it's gonna be like a big zoom out shot, and we're actually going to see basically what we just saw with this Blocks village, but it's going to be like 10 times more intricate and 10 times, or maybe the complete opposite. Maybe we're just gonna fly out, and it's just gonna be like giant mountains, and nothing anywhere except for a tree. It's gonna be the world tree. I think I think this whole sun god stuff, I think he's gonna be important. And I think he might even turn out to be more important than, like, all the other, You know how usually when we land on a new island, there's usually, like, a baddie that we sort of know and we already have connections with? So think, like, the Prophet guy on Wano. Cracker was kind of like a low-level dude on Whole Cake. Usually arcs start out with, like, a minor baddie, sometimes one we already know, right? Same thing, like, with Law on Punk Hazard, where Law was initially like a, you know, like a, what's he doing? I think he might be like that, where we sort of open up with the dude we already know, and through this, like, cyclical storytelling, just like Prophet Dude in Wano, I think this guy will be very important. And I think it's through his RPG fantasy that we might learn more about the actual lore behind the Sun God. Because I just, now that I'm thinking about it, like, zooming out in terms of him building this little fantasy land, and the fact that he wants to be Sun God, and we know that the Sun God, like, religion thing is a thing on Elbaf, all of that seems very purposeful, and I don't think Oda is just writing a dude as, you know, I'm gonna be a god here, and I just so happen to name myself after our religion's god, and I also create this little fantasy land. I think he needs to yap more about it. I think he does. I think he does. Chapter 898 for massive foreshadowing. Okay. What exactly should I be looking at? Oh, that's him on the cover right there. Oh. Will definitely return. Funny. Very funny. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Let me open it up on stream. If I don't see every single Sanji fan change their profile pictures to this, you actually don't like Sanji. If you loved Sanji, you would accept him at his best and also at his worst. So this better be your profile picture. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Obviously, this is him right here. And the title of the chapter is Will Definitely Return. Which, you know, he did return. He did. Has someone already... No, he hasn't. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the guy through which we will explore, like, the Sun God lore. I think so. And I think if Oda did it this way, that would be so interesting. If he uses, like, this guy's little RPG campaign to basically give us disguised lore and wrap all of that up in personal character motivations, I think that would be genius. That would be so smart. His name is Road. Should we somehow interpret that as, like, a road poneglyph or something? Because I don't think so. I don't remember his name. So he's the navigator, which does make sense. Well, there's the samurai connection. Yeah, I'm not sure, like, I'm not sure if he's going to have, like, a... Because what I sort of expected is if Luffy went into Gear 5, I thought he might have, like, flipped. Right? Like, he would be like, he would have been like, hey, yo. What's that? I thought I was the main character. What are you? But he didn't. Right? So, I think we might explore lore through him, but I don't know what kind of, like, lasting impact on the story he will have. He called Nami his queen, so tracks with being a navigator. I actually didn't think about it that way. I actually didn't. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So he's not just a creep. He might also actually just respect Nami. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, true. True. Long-term predictions, though, and again, Sanji fans, long-term predictions, I think after this chapter, I think we're gonna see Elbaf, and I think after this is going to be like the end of our little introduction arc. I think now we're gonna get into Egghead proper. The only thing that I still find extremely sus is the Absinthe. And also, another thing I find extremely sus is... Actually, I don't find that sus. I was gonna say, what about the other side of the crew? The other side of the crew might already be on Elbaf. So we might reconnect, and it would be relatively chill. And then maybe the next conflict starts when we go to meet, like, Loki or whoever the king is. Maybe. Maybe. I do think this guy will be important, though. Otherwise, it seems so random to do this. We'll see Vivi reunite in Elbaf. That would be interesting, but I'm not sure, like, where they are currently. I've got no idea what, like, the location of all of them are. New king of Elbaf will be Thor, aka Enaru. Like, at this point, I've got no idea. I've said this millions of times before. Like, Oda has done way too much with Eneru for him not to be important again. But at the same time, I also kind of don't want him to be important. Because I just don't see him being brought back and it making sense. He was on the moon. I think chances are the king is going to be, like, Odin. That's, like, my prediction right now. And Odin, by the way, is another contender for potentially being one-eyed. Because we still don't know who like the first pirate with the eye patch will be, right? Because it's either going to be Joy Boy, it's going to be Luffy, or it might be someone else. It could theoretically be Odin. He'll return when Luffy stretches out to grab the moon and slam it into Blackbeard. I am like really curious. What stories of the moon are there, as there are with Luffy and the Sun God? Because there have to be some, right? I just keep wondering about that, like, Bible connection. If there's something, like, with Fenrir or something, that would be really interesting. Who suggested this? But now that newest Strawhats who joined after Vivi farewell scene left to the Elbaf ship, it would be great to have Vivi go with them, so she could learn, know them. That, you actually raise a very good point. This could be, like, a fourth wall breaky way to introduce Vivi to all the other Straw Hats, because we would be, like, reuniting with them as well. Yes. Absolutely. If we met Vivi right now and then went to, like, meet up with the rest of the crew, that would work magnificently. Yes. I just don't know if Oda wants to do that right now. Because I feel like, one big thing with, like, Egghead and even Wano was that there was, like, so many main characters. It was kind of hard to let all of them shine, you know? And if we add on Vivi, it's gonna be a bit, you know. I wonder if, because my prediction about Bonnie, by the way, that turned out to be wrong. I expected Bonnie's character to be like a guiding star in the same way that Law was. Right? Like, we met up with Law, and then Law basically guided us all the way through to post-time skip. That doesn't seem to be the case at all with Bonnie. I think Bonnie's story is by and large done. So I was completely wrong about that. So theoretically, in the way I thought about the post-Egghead story, now that it's changed completely. So maybe if we brought in Vivi, it could work. Talk things through with Robin. I really hope Oda does, like, a very touching scene between Vivi and Robin. I really hope we see something like that. I hope we see, like, it be very emotional where Robin is like, I'm sorry for everything I did. And then she can talk about, like, why she did the things they did. And then they can just both cry together and hug each other, and it's gonna be very wholesome. That's what I think we need to see. Because I think, like, I don't think Vivi would hold anything against her, but I do think Robin would want to talk about it. I do. I think Robin just, like, naturally would want to say something. Otherwise, I think it would feel weird. Because I think for Vivi, it's going to be like, I remember you being bad, but you're with Luffy. So I think we're cool, but I think Robin would say something. Vivi, Robin, and Saul in the same room. Do you realize how happy I'm gonna be? It's gonna be peak fiction. It's gonna be peak fiction. Oh my god, I'm just... Imagine them two talking, right? Like Vivi and Robin, and both of them are crying, and it's very wholesome, and then suddenly... you see in the corner of the page, Dere shi, and then he walks in. What's going on, Robin? Oh my god. Please. I need that. I think Elbaf might be my favorite arc. There are so many things going for it. I'm very curious about the Vivi angle. Now that you've mentioned it, it does make me wonder whether that's exactly what Oda is going for. Because I think splitting up, like, the OG crew from the new crew, that must have been intentional, right? Like, absolutely. So I do wonder if he's actually setting up something like that. All right, let me zoom through the chapter one more time to see if I missed anything. I assume you mean Vivi has seen the posters. I think that's true, but we would still like see them talk, you know. I really hope. And this has been, like, one of my biggest desires with One Piece in general. I wish we got scenes where they sit around and just talk. you know? I feel like Oda does a lot of things that are very subtle in terms of character storytelling, but I do wish we sometimes got to just see scenes where they sit and just talk. Because we've been with them for so long, and there have been like so many different iterations of characters that there is like so much baggage with all of them, and with each and every one of their interactions, there's been like so much that has changed between them. It feels so rewarding spotting like these little things, right? Like the bug thing, for example. I completely forgot about that. And all the, like everyone who remembered that, it was like, oh, Sanji's afraid of bugs. That's like a whole thing. And then they were like bonded over their being scared of bugs. And that was such a good payoff moment that I didn't even realize. And I want these kinds of moments to happen more between the crew in terms of just talking about things. The bug thing, it was so good. I love that so, and that was like a completely meaningless detail. That added nothing to the plot. But it is so good that it's there. I love it. I'm happy. I want more of it. I want to see Robin and Chopper, just like they did in, what's the arc? Long Ring Long Land, go and get some cotton candy together and talk about cotton candy. I want to see Zoro get slightly lost, and then he needs to find a grave with a sword, and then there's gonna be like, Zoro, what's up with your weird obsession with graves and swords? And then maybe he can talk about something. It doesn't really fit Zoro's character to talk about that though. So now I'm just spitting nonsense. I'm loving Elbaf so far. Adaptation of Norse mythos is already on point. I can't wait to see what he has in store. I do think like the little we've seen of the sun god thing and creating like this whole little fantasy land, it didn't even click for me that that's what's happening. Because I said that this is probably a simulation, the fact that there's probably like multiple layers, I said all of that, but it never clicked in my brain that what he's doing is he's playing the actual like religion mythos that they have. It never clicked like that step 2 for me. Never even thought about that. Need more slice of life parts? Absolutely. Absolutely. The freaking rabbit though, that's a bit morbid. The rabbit in this one is like it was mysteriously burned to death earlier today. The sight was heartbreaking and more than a little ominous. That was a bit of a, I didn't expect that. It's a bit like, you know, it's a bit too much. I'll leave it there for today. I'm definitely not going to be on tomorrow. Like, definitely. I have a lot of work I need to do. And I might not be on Tuesday either. We'll see what happens with Wednesday, Thursday, but there's a very big video coming, so we'll see. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.